Okay, so on the second part, number 15. Angle 1, it's an angle of what? Of depression, right? It's an angle of depression because you have the horizontal line and then a segment going down, a ray going down, so that is an angle of depression. What about angle 2? Elevation, because it's a horizontal line and then a ray going up, so it's elevation. So it's angle of depression, and this is an angle of elevation. For number 16, angle 1 is an angle of elevation, and number 2 is an angle of depression. Number 17 is an angle of depression, angle 2 is an angle of elevation. Number 18 is an angle of elevation, and number 2 is an angle of depression. Questions about any of those 4 problems? You all okay with that? Great. Okay, so now number 19, it would take me about a whole page to solve this problem. This is a bonus problem. Did any of you got this problem right? No. Did any of you got this one right? Or at least worked it out? No? Okay. Because that way I could check the answer for you. Okay, number 20. In problem number 20, I think the challenge was to draw the picture. And you have to draw a picture to understand what's going on. So when you draw the picture, it says, suppose the sun casts a shadow of a 35-foot building. So I have a building. Okay. It's a 35-foot building. So this is 35. Okay. And it says, if the angle of elevation to the sun is 60 degrees. Okay, so angle of elevation to the sun so here's the sun. Okay. And the angle of elevation is 60 degrees. So this is the 60-degree angle, which is 60 also here with the ground, because these two lines are parallel. So by alternating, by corresponding angles, those two angles are the same. This one and this one are the same by corresponding angles. So what I have here, it's a triangle that is a right triangle. So I have the opposite side, and they're asking me for the shadow, right? How long is the shadow? So this is a shadow right here. So I need to know this. And I have the opposite, which is 35. So opposite, what is the x representing? The hypotenuse or the adjacent? The adjacent. So O and A, I need to use what property? Tangent. So it's tangent of 60 equals to the opposite, which is 35, over the adjacent, which is x, and then we just cross multiply here. So it's x tangent of 60 equals 35, and then you get rid of the tangent of 60 because it's multiplying the x. You divide both sides by tangent of 60, and when you put that in the calculator, that would be 20 point what? 21, and this is feet. So the building's height, the shadow's length is 20.21 feet. Questions about this problem? So far so good? Okay. So now let's move on to the third page. On the third page, what they're asking for is how far is a well from the coyote's binoculars. So that is this distance here. So this is the x. And they're giving me the angle 20 degrees. So by alternate interior angles, that is 20 degrees. And I have the opposite side. 30 plus 3 is 33 feet. So I have opposite, and I have the hypotenuse because it's a right triangle. So O and H, what property do you use for this one? It was sine. So it's sine of 20. What's the ratio that you use here? Which is? Over x. And then when you cross multiply, you're supposed to have, oops, hold on. Put a 1 underneath. So you put it as over 1. When you cross multiply, that's going to be x sine of 20 equals 33. Then you divide by sine of 20. And when you divide 33 by sine of 20, what is the length between the well and the binoculars? Did you get 96.49? Round to the nearest foot, tenth of a foot. So it's 96.1. 0.5, isn't it? 0.5. 0.5, and this is in feet. So that's the length. Okay, so number 22. In number 22, it says use a law of cosines. So when you use a law, of sines. When you use a law of sines, is because you have an angle, the side across, an angle, the side across. So you set up this problem as a proportion. Okay. The proportion for number 22 should be sine of what? Of 80 is to what? X. As sine of 40 is to 12. And then when you cross multiply, you're going to have 12 sine of 80 equals x sine of 40. You divide both sides by sine of 40. Then put that in the calculator. And dx is supposed to be, did you get 18? Hundredths place would be 39, tenths place would be 0.4. Yes, that's it. Now problem number 23. In number 23, I need to find the missing angle first, right? Because the missing angle is across from the side that is given. So how much is the missing angle? Well, I need to add 91 plus 52, which is 143. Subtract that from 180. So how much is 180 minus 143? What did you get for the missing angle? 37? Okay, so the missing angle is 37. So when I set up the ratio here, that would be sine of 37 is to what number? Is to 20 as sine of, what sine? Sine of 52 is to x. And then when you cross multiply and you solve for x, x was in number 23. Did you get 26.2 to the tenths? Hundreds would be 19. That's right. And then you do the same thing with number 24. So in number 24, x, what did you get for x in number 24? X is 18.02 or 18 just 18 if it's to the tenths place. Okay, number 25, the law of cosines. Okay, so for the law of cosines, you usually have three sides and an angle. And you start from the side across from the angle. So here, I'm going to start with what number, what letter? You start with the x, the side across from the angle. So you start with the x. So it's x squared equals what? You get the two sides, right? Square minus what? 2 times 14 times 12 cosine of 62. Now I'm looking for the x. So what do I need to do to leave the x by itself? It's a square. You square root both sides. And then you put all of that in the calculator. So therefore x, what did you get for x in number 25? Did you get 13.5, 0.50 if it's hundredths place, right? 0.5. Great. Now number 26, see in this one you're looking for the angle. So we always start from the side across from the angle that you're working with. So we're going to start with the 10, right? So it's going to be 10 square equals what? 12 square plus 11 square minus 2 times 12 times 11 cosine of x. Now you need to simplify this. 10 square is 100. What is 12 squared plus 11 squared? What's the sum of that? 265? Okay, so it's 265. And what is the product of 2 times 12 times 11? Did you get 264? Perfect. Yes. And that is cosine of x. Then what do we move next? You subtract the 265, so it's minus 265 minus 265. Okay. And that gives you negative 165 and negative 264 cosine of x. Then you divide both sides by negative 264. And then from here, I need to get rid of the cosine, so I get arc cosine of both sides. And you put arc cosine of negative 165 divided by negative 264. And what is the measurement of x? Did you get 51 degrees? Yes, perfect. And now for number 27, is the same as number 26. X is 42. So for number 27, the measurement of the angle is 42. Now number 28, here you have to use the law of cosines because the sides are given. We're looking for one of the angles. I'm just finding x across from 57. So when you find the x here, this is the same thing as problem number 27 as problem number 26. So the angle x, it's 51 degrees when you find the x. And then, hold on just a minute, 61 degrees, not 51, it's 61. And then you can use the law of sines to set up a proportion, or you can use the law of cosines. When you use the law of sines, you can say that is sine of 61 is to 57 as sine of, I'm going to let this be y, of y is to 48. And then you cross multiply, and that angle is going to be, angle y is going to be 47. And then to find the third angle, just add those two, find the missing angle, and the third angle, that would be, I'm going to put angle C. That would be 61 degrees. Okay. And then for number 29, the second side is 26.11 miles, and the third side is 35.18 miles. And here you can use the law of sines. And number 30, you just use the law of cosines, and the x, the distance, would be 26.20 miles. Okay. What I'll do is I'm going to post the video and also the answer sheet, the answer key on Google Classroom. You can watch the video or check the answer sheet so you can check to see if you did it correctly. Okay.